There are stories that sound unreal, but this one actually happened. And the most disturbing part, it could have been avoided, or maybe it couldn't. Tonight, we're diving into a case that will make you question everything. This is Surrogate Squad. What if the most dangerous person you'll ever meet lives right next to you? Locked in, neighbors ... We all think we know our neighbors. We exchange pleasantries. We borrow sugar. We see them mowing the lawn on a Sunday morning. But the truth is, a white picket fence is the perfect place to hide a monster. You see the smile. You don't see what happens? When the front door clicks shut. This is the story of a man who blended in flawlessly. He wasn't a drifter. He wasn't a Hollywood villain with scars. He was a successful accountant, a man who brought potato salad to block parties. A man who, for over 7 years, harbored a secret so dark it would eventually shatter this community forever. You see the smile. You don't see what happens when the front door clicks shut. Let's call him Arthur. To everyone on Elm Street, Arthur was the gold standard. Single, quiet, but always polite. If a storm knocked a branch into your yard, Arthur was the first one out there with a chainsaw to help you clear it. People trusted him. Why wouldn't they? He was the definition of normal. But normal is just a mask. Psychological profilers call it the mask of sanity. Sociopaths construct an elaborate facade to survive among us. While the neighborhood slept, Arthur's mask slipped. He worked late hours. He took spontaneous camping trips in the dead of winter. Small, easily explainable habits until you put them all together. The first red flags were so subtle, they were almost invisible. A neighbor across the street noticed Arthur leaving his house at 3 a.m. on Tuesdays. He was always wearing dark clothes and carrying a heavy duffel bag. When asked, he claimed he was an early riser hitting the 24-hour gym. Nobody questioned it, but then the atmosphere in the town began to shift. The next county over, a disturbing pattern was emerging. Young women were vanishing without a trace. The police were baffled. There was no DNA, no forced entry, no connections between the victims. The media dubbed it the work of a ghost, but ghosts don't buy groceries on Sunday mornings. Ghosts don't pay HOA fees. Arthur was meticulous. He kept his hunting grounds far enough from his home to avoid suspicion. This is a classic tactic of organized offenders. He compartmentalized his life perfectly. By day, he was analyzing spreadsheets. By night, he was a predator stalking his prey. He used his non-threatening appearance as his greatest weapon. He looked like someone you could ask for directions. Investigators would later discover that Arthur's methodology relied entirely on trust. He would offer rides to stranded motorists. He played the part of the Good Samaritan. The terrifying truth is that victims likely felt a sense of relief when he pulled over. They thought they were saved. They had no idea they had just stepped into a trap. The perfect crime doesn't exist. It took for years, but Arthur finally made a mistake. A single traffic camera on a lonely toll road captured his vehicle leaving the vicinity of a crime scene. A partial plate, the make and model. The detectives ran the database, narrowing down thousands of cars to just a handful, and one of them belonged to a quiet accountant on Elm Street. The police didn't raid the house immediately. They couldn't risk him destroying evidence. Instead, they watched. They became ghosts themselves. For 3 weeks, investigators monitored every breath Arthur took. They waited for trash day. A discarded coffee cup from his garbage provided the holy grail, a direct DNA match to a hair found at the third crime scene. The game was over. On a quiet Tuesday at 4 a.m., the illusion of Elm Street shattered. SWAT teams descended on the perfect suburban lawn. Doors were breached. The neighbors woke up to a nightmare. As they brought Arthur out in cuffs, the most chilling part wasn't that he fought back. It was that he didn't. His face was a blank slate. The mask had finally fallen off. Inside the home, police found trophies, journals, evidence of a double life so horrifying. Seasoned detectives had to step outside for air. The community was left in shock. The man who had grilled burgers for their kids, the man who had watered their plants, was a monster. The psychological trauma for the neighborhood was immeasurable. How do you ever trust anyone again? Evil doesn't always look like a movie villain. Sometimes it wears a polo shirt and drives a sensible sedan. Sometimes the scariest stories aren't the ones in haunted houses, but the ones happening right behind the drywall of your own home. What do you think? Could you tell if someone like this lived next to you? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe. If this story made you think or even just gave you chills, make sure to leave a like. And subscribe for more true crime and what-if stories. Because sometimes the scariest stories are the ones that actually happened. See you in the next video. The end. Watch more.